Everybody's heard about the Aztecs. Everybody's heard about the Maya. But before the Aztecs and before the Maya, there were a culture who are referred to as the Olmecs. Again, we don't know what they called themselves. That's what the Aztecs called them. They called them the Olmecs, and it means the rubber people because that rubber-producing area of Mexico. But one of the things I've realized is that there is no classic Native American feature. That Native Americans have a very complex genetic story with very many different elements brought into it, and we shouldn't be necessarily surprised by the supposedly non-Native American look. So I wonder if we're looking at a sort of badge of office of a group of civilizers who traveled around the world trying to bring back to life.
In the vast labyrinth of ancient history, where time folds upon itself and continents seem to whisper secrets across oceans, there exists a tantalizing riddle, a mystery so profound that it challenges the conventional boundaries of civilization. What if the ancient Hindu culture, the cradle of Vedic wisdom and cosmic philosophy, had secret ties with the enigmatic world of Mesoamerica, the land of the Maya, whose stone temples still echo with forgotten chants? Though separated by vast oceans and millennia, their cultural echoes seem to resonate as though they once shared a common tongue, a common sky, and perhaps a common destiny. Ancient Hindu texts speak of the Patala Loka, a realm beneath the earth, where serpentine beings known as the Nagas dwelled, and where powerful secrets of the universe were hidden from the eyes of ordinary men. Patala, described in the Puranas and the Mahabharata, was no mere cavern or subterranean hollow. It was a world of luminous cities, vibrant civilizations, and beings both divine and demonic. But what if Patala was not just a metaphysical underworld? What if it was a distant land across the seas whose riches and knowledge were so fantastical that they could only be described in metaphor? Some scholars, seekers, and even mystics have speculated that Mesoamerica, home of the Maya, the Olmec, and the Toltec, was in fact the fabled Patala of ancient Hindu cosmology. Consider the Mayan civilization itself, a culture obsessed with the cycles of time, the heavens, and the secrets of creation. They built massive pyramids that mirrored the sacred geometry found in the temples of Angkor Wat and the stepped vimanas described in the Vedas. Both cultures, continents apart, erected their temples as cosmic maps, aligning them with celestial movements. The Maya spoke of the three levels of the world: the heavens, the earth, and the underworld. In Hindu cosmology, these correspond almost eerily to Svarga, heaven, Buloka, earth, and Patala, underworld. The Mayan underworld, known as Xibalba, was a realm of serpentine lords, guardians of gateways and trials for the souls who dared enter. The serpents of Xibalba mirror the Nagas of Patala, ancient serpent deities guarding treasures of spiritual and material wealth. In both mythologies, these subterranean realms were not merely places of darkness and despair. They were realms of hidden wisdom, initiation, and rebirth. This shared reverence for the serpent, a being representing both cosmic knowledge and mortal peril, links the two cultures in ways that cannot be dismissed as coincidence. But it is not only in mythology that these echoes persist. The architectural, linguistic, and even mathematical parallels between ancient India and Mesoamerica have intrigued researchers for over a century. Mayan stepped pyramids, like those at Chichen Itza and Tikal, resemble the stepped temple towers of South India and Cambodia, themselves inspired by ancient Vedic designs. Both cultures revered zero, an abstract mathematical concept deeply embedded in the Hindu decimal system and remarkably present in the Mayan long count calendar, a mathematical masterpiece calculating cosmic cycles spanning thousands of years. Legends of long-lost voyages across the Pacific add fuel to this fire. Ancient Indian maritime traditions described in texts like the Rig Veda and the Sangam literature speak of vast sea voyages undertaken by merchants, sages, and even kings. Could some of these voyages have crossed the Pacific, carrying not only goods but sacred knowledge, rituals, and stories, seeding the ancient world of Mesoamerica with echoes of Vedic civilization? Though modern history dismisses such ideas as speculative fantasy, the ocean currents themselves tell a different story. The Kuroshio current, moving from East Asia to the west coast of the Americas, could have carried ancient ships across the Pacific, just as Polynesians navigated from distant islands to Hawaii. Curiously, the gods of these cultures also seem to wear masks borrowed from a shared celestial drama. The Mayan god Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, bears a haunting resemblance to the Vedic Shesha, the cosmic serpent who coils around Vishnu, measuring the passage of time itself. Both serpents are creators, destroyers, and keepers of cosmic secrets, weaving through time and space like eternal rivers. Both cultures also fixated on cosmic cycles, the Yuga cycles of Hinduism, which divide time into vast epochs, mirror the Mayan obsession with their long count calendar, which tracks the rise and fall of world ages. Both cultures believed that time was not a linear path, but a wheel, constantly turning, constantly repeating, forever bringing forth creation and destruction in rhythmic succession. This cyclical worldview, embedded in stone, scripture, and ceremony, binds these two cultures like twin flames flickering on opposite sides of the world. Even in rituals, whispers of connection emerge. The Mayan ball game, played in vast stone courts, was not merely a sport, but a cosmic drama. The struggle between light and darkness, life and death, a ritual offering to the gods. This echoes the Samudra Manthan, the Hindu myth of the churning of the cosmic ocean, a primordial struggle between the forces of light, devas, and darkness, asuras, where the divine nectar of immortality was at stake. Both cultures, so distant in geography, seem to understand that human life itself was a reflection of these cosmic battles. Could it be that these parallels are not mere accidents of cultural evolution, but fragments of a much older pre-Diluvian civilization, a lost source from which both cultures drew their myths, sciences, and sacred knowledge? Perhaps the ancient seafarers of India, guided by star charts and ancestral memory, reached the shores of the Americas long before history dared to remember. Perhaps they found there an echo of their own beliefs, a culture already seeded with cosmic wisdom from an even older source, Atlantis or Kumari Kandam, submerged beneath the waves of prehistory. And then there is the question of language itself. Some researchers have noted startling similarities between Sanskrit and the root structures of some Mayan languages. While mainstream linguistics resists these connections, the possibility lingers. Did a forgotten lingua franca once bind these ancient peoples together before continents and epochs tore them apart? The deeper one digs into these ancient mysteries, the more the veil of certainty begins to fray. History, we are told, is a tidy procession of isolated cultures evolving independently along separate tracks. But the stones themselves whisper a different story, a story of ancient migrations, shared memories, and a cosmic connection that transcends time and geography. The ancient Hindus, with their knowledge of Vimanas, mantras, and cosmic architecture, may have been more than passive chroniclers of the divine. They may have been voyagers, cultural pollinators, bearers of light from one corner of the world to another. If Mesoamerica was indeed the Patala Loka described in ancient Hindu texts, then our understanding of history, culture, and human destiny is only beginning to be rewritten. In the end, the truth may lie not in academic papers or modern maps, but in the whispers carried by the wind from the ruins of Tikal to the temples of Varanasi, where the gods of two worlds still watch, waiting for us to remember that they were once one.